Be harder for developers to build in Seminole County's rural area? Welcome to another episode of You Can't Make This Shit Up. Your host, David Washington. I'm Joel Hawksley. Now, today we're going to talk about Seminole voters. You know, they may soon decide to have a higher hurdle for the developers aiming to build in the county's rural area. Now, the Charter Review Commission is considering ballot measures for November 5th that would require the supermajority of 4 votes from the Seminole County Commission to approve denser development in protected rural and natural lands. Now, currently, only a simple majority of 3 votes is needed. Proponents argue this change will preserve these areas from urban sprawl, while opponents claim it infringes on property rights. The debate continues as the commission prepares to finalize its recommendations. What do you think the recommendation should be? And David, take it up.
Simple majority votes versus supermajority votes. It seems like the status quo has been working just fine. If residents agree that they want to protect the rural boundary or the type of lifestyle that has prescribed in a certain part of the county, then let the people speak and their representatives should follow.
Well, see, David, I'm going to disagree in a little bit.
Okay.
So, look, I think one of the things is if we vote for supermajority, then we can relax on the election of individuals to the board because, hey, we don't have to focus on that issue during the campaigns. One thing that's unique about Seminole County is you have to run the entire county. You represent the entire county. You may be a district commissioner, but you are responsible to run the entire district. So this issue comes up, they have to address it, they have to speak to you about it. What happens if you vote for the supermajority? And all of a sudden you put the supermajority out there and people go, oh, it's not an issue because it can't pass. It can't pass because it's supermajority, it's not going to pass. Then it's just like they're going to start relaxing and you're going to stop talking about this issue because they're going to feel safe about this issue. And then next thing you know, you have a supermajority that votes to develop a huge development that you never wanted, and you'll be crying because you made a decision that eventually affected you. But that's just me looking like I do. I always look down the road, and we see what's happened with senators having direct voting. Right. It's changed the total perspective of what the Senate should be. I think this is something that I love the fact. I love what it sounds like, but I know what the repercussions would be.
So, are you saying you're good with the supermajority vote?
If it passes, I'll be fine with it, but I don't like it. I don't like the supermajority because I think it will affect voting in the future where it will become in jeopardy.
Okay.
So I'm saying if you vote for it, then voters will become complacent. And when they become complacent, then all of a sudden you'll have a supermajority that's against what you want. They'll be able to get developers in there. And all of a sudden you're going, well, how did that happen? Because you didn't have to address the issue because you guys got comfortable with everybody we put on the commission is going to support the rural boundary.
And that seems to be the case with a lot of our politics, that we do become comfortable and we're not actively engaged with what's happening in our county commission offices, our city halls, et cetera, et
Look at
cetera.
Orange County. I don't mean to cut you off, but look at Orange
Mhm.
County. They're making a vote for something that isn't even in their county. It's Osceola, but they have to make an amendment. They have to do an adjustment, and they voted to protect this area. Then they went and they changed their mind, right?
Yes, sir.
And that's because the voters were complacent. They didn't think about Osceola County. They didn't think about a roadway, and now they're being offered a huge amount of land to put this road in. Now,
Split oak.
I thought what Andrea Herr on one of our episodes
Wow.
says about that was very, interesting.
Very intelligent.
I really liked how she put that. It kind
Yes.
of changed my perspective and
Mine
didn't
also.
didn't take me off of the way I feel that Orange County, bait and switch,
Agreed.
but I do look at the perspective differently. And guys, watch that episode.
Yeah.
Really interesting episode because she's on the transportate the
CFX.
CFX,
Yeah,
and
Central Florida
that
Expressway Authority.
that made a difference because I got to hear something a different direction. But yeah, David, I think for me, I love what they're thinking, but I'm also looking at, again, voter trends. We work in this area. We are innovators because we know how to look into the future, and that just seems a little bit hokey. I think once you get it, people will not ask, "So, where are you on the boundary?"
Mhm.
Eventually, that question will be,
Mhm.
we don't have to ask that question because we have a supermajority needed.
I'm glad that you did bring up Commissioner Andrea hers interview. She laid out that argument about the battle for Split Oak and that toll road going through Split Oak in a very common sense, intelligent way. And it did give me some pause to think, oh wow, I get it. I see what she's saying. I understand. Again, it hasn't really moved me away from my original position. However, it did make me think. And like Joel said, we really encourage you all to, especially those of you who are intimately aware of or involved in the Split Oak issue, you have to watch that episode. We definitely need to make a short of it, but you really have to watch the Andrea Her episode for just that piece alone.
Yeah, it was
And
awesome.
yeah, it's a struggle, it's a battle between developers and people who want to keep open spaces available. Again, I remember during a endorsement interview with one of our clients in the past, sticking around and just kind of listening in on conversations. And there were, some lawyers talking about, the interview and said, hey, regardless of where this particular candidate stands, we're going to pave over, the rest of Central Florida from Davenport all the way up to the St. John's, and make quote Orlando one mass metropolis.
Well, eventually, if they get their way, Tampa and Orlando will become one.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
OPA.
that's how big they want this to be.
They'll call it OPA.
Yeah, I guess. Who knows? We don't even know how the city became named Orlando. They don't know. I mean, because that's what look, learn your history. It's fun. Guys, this is something you need to be looking at.
Yeah,
If you don't know what the charter review is,
get
then you
involved.
really need to get involved and you need to understand. But again, make your comments. Let us know where you stand on this. And hopefully, I maybe opened your eyes to why a good thing can be a bad thing.
I agree with Joel. Get involved, exercise your civic duties. Civic engagement at the local level is so important, and we can't say it enough. And I'm sure you hear it all the time. But please engage. You can start right here with our show. You can't make this shit up. the Morning Constitution. I was about to call it the Joel Hawkston Show.
No, but we have the Hawkeye Report, which is the blog is now, we're bringing it up to speed. We're adding, we're increasing, involvement. Be advised, the Hawkeye is going to be a place that you're going to want to find yourself always. So you
Indeed.
get that information, and we're excited about it. And we're excited because you're the reason we're growing, and we enjoy listening to you.
Please like, share, hit the notification button. And of course, we want to hear your comments. We love engaging with you on our different platforms and continuing the conversation. So please, across all of our platforms, please comment. We want to hear what you have to say. Again, bring your
Facts, not your feelings.